So our fourth section is editing and revising. Listen to text being read back using a screen reader tool. If you don't have a good grammar support tool, using a screen reader to have students just highlight whatever they've written and listen back is a really easy editing tool. First steps, you write it, then you listen to it back. Does that sound right? Do you hear any errors in there? And then I've also used some editing rubrics where I teach the student, okay, oh, you're done with that paragraph? Well, here's your rubric. You go back and check on your own how you've done. And here's an example of kind of an intermediate elementary one where in the box on the left, they either put C, I fixed this, or they check it off if it's correct. So here's just 7 easy things. They can go back and look to see if they've done those. Thinking about avoiding repetitive phrases and words. I mean, this for a high level student, you might even consider putting this on a self-editing rubric. Thinking about, okay, I just used the word fun 3 times in that paragraph. I got to come up with something different. Or taking weak adjectives and replacing them with more powerful ones. Like instead of, oh, I'm scared, maybe I'm terrified, right? So helping them look at enhancing the vocabulary there. And then finally, what we're doing today is consider using a technology editing tool for more support. Editing tools does kind of overlap with grammar and spell check, right? Because a lot of the same things happen there, but you'll notice there's some different tools. So if you're just working on, I'm writing longer, especially older kids that need more robust editing tools to do more than just check spelling. Here's some things you might want to consider. Microsoft Editor is getting better and better. I did get a quick video about it. This is kind of just a fun video if you ever want to watch it. It's just like a minute long, maybe a minute and a half, but just kind of gives you the possibilities of how fast it is to find and correct all these errors now, all the ways people are doing it. This one I hadn't heard of before, but when I did searching, it gets really high ratings from a lot of people when you try to, look at what are the top grammar and editing tools out there. It's called Pro Writing Aid, and I believe, do I have it? Yep, I have a slide on that. So it looks a little bit like Grammarly. It has its own toolbar, and then here's a sentence I wrote that I tried to do some misspellings on. So obviously underlines, and then tells you, you have a goal, and then it tells you what is your grammar spelling percentage here, and your style score, and scores and different things. And then it has all these tools up here for editing. This is just kind of a visual of what it looks like. So again, if you're a Chrome user and you're looking for, what else can I use?
Well, Tracy put that Chromevox is good for reading stuff back to people. And the other piece that I really like is the select to read. So like if you've got some menu kind of options open and the student, is dyslexic or struggles with reading, they can select and it'll read the tabs, or even just like when you're in a Google Doc, the file, the edit, you can do those and do select to read so they can have it read. So you don't have Chromebox reading the whole thing, but they can select the pieces that they need to have read to them. So those are both
Right.
great Google accessibility features in the
And on iPhones and iPads, they have another thing called select to speak. And if you have that turned on, you literally just tap the word or tap the sentence, and then a little optional pop-up select, speak text, and you can speak it that easily. And then of course you guys probably know about Immersive Reader for the Office 365, which is really improved too. So we have a lot of some good free screen readers out there now, which is great. This Hemingway editor on the web, you just go right out to this Hemingway website and you can edit right there. And then there's an easy way you can, cut and paste or transfer it to a Word doc or a Google Doc. But you do have to do the editing on the web in the free version. And then there's a paid version. We'll talk about it in a little minute that has more features. And then dictionary.com app. And what's great about that, think of just, again, using the dictionary. That's what we used to do when we didn't know how to spell a word, right? So going somewhere like that to help students go back, research what word did I need. So there's free apps like this that you can do a lot with before you'd have to pay for something. So let's just look here at Office 365. Right here in the Home tab, they have this little editor icon. And not only does it give you, highlight the words for grammar and spelling, it gives you word counts, it gives you correction suggestions, and gives you data on your writing there. It will translate. So you see over here on the right, I screenshotted a pop-up box. So while you're editing, you can even edit and translate at the same time, or edit translated words. So there's that. In one of the editor versions, when you're scanning through the word choices, when it says, oh, do you mean this, this, or this? You can extend it and actually have it read back, and it even gives you definitions of the other words at once. So Microsoft has some extended supports in their editor with screen feedback and some definitions that's also in there. So again, if you have access to that, or your students do, there's a lot of robust editing features right in Microsoft. For editing and getting into the paid tools, I just kind of chose these two to focus on. If your student is using an iPad as a primary device, this is a nice $4 app that does has a lot of nice editing features that you can see here. So this might be one to consider. I have had students in the past that are using iPads as their primary writing device, or, if they're using two things, it's still nice to have it. So consider Write as an app if you're using iOS. And then I have a screenshot here of this Hemingway Editor 3, which is desktop software that you can use, and then you can use it whether you have web access or not. So this might be like a high school student that's working on the computer, but maybe they don't have internet at home or whatever it is. But this has a really nice comprehensive suggestions for kind of sentences. Even if you have your sentence is too dense and complicated, it gives you a highlight and gives you suggestions how using a shorter word or a different word, weak phrases. It gives you, oh, that's a passive voice. So this one really gets into it quite a bit. I think for students that are older writers that really want some extra help with the whole writing process and making that content higher quality, something like this Hemingway, whether it's the web version or this desktop editor, might be more robust for them. And I think this one also integrates really easily. Like you can literally import a Word document, work on it, and then save it back out where it was. So it's more seamless in working with Word and I believe Google Docs as well.